What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and we're here today playing another episode of Project Zomboid, as we often are. And oh dear, there are a bunch of zombies out there. So what we might consider is possibly just sprinting out past all of them, and that's not actually how I wanted this episode to start out, but that's what we're gonna have to live with. Luckily, before I started this episode, I locked and loaded with about, say 50 shotgun shells, and so I think we'll be alright. I've just gotta keep them all away from my house. And if we can pull that off, I think we'll be alright. So, as we go, and I know we're jumping straight into the episode here, this actually has nothing to do with what I had planned. I really did not expect zombies to be waiting outside the door when I first started out here. There seems to have been an event somewhere around here. I am uninvolved with that event, so there was no sound effect that I heard or anything like that before I started the video, so it seems as though we're gonna have to get our running gun on here. And as we destroy these guys, hopefully we can draw them away from the house with our gunfire. So when you're firing a weapon, and I know this has been mentioned a couple times now down in comments, so I have to give you guys credit for this little tip. You want to fire your shotgun just like you're firing any other blunt weapon. You want to take it, you want to click, you want to hold down the key, which allows you to aim a little bit quicker. And once you're all beated in, you let go and you should get a better kill ratio. Now those gunshots right there should draw everything away from our house if we're really lucky. Let's go back and survey the carnage here. I mean, I can't guarantee our safety in this situation. But let me sneak behind these zombies and see if any are in the house. Yikes, looks like there's a couple on the window right there. Let's go inside really quickly. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anybody inside. So let me close off the door really quickly. And wow, that was something right there. Ah, they're back on the house again. We've got it barricaded, so let me go ahead and I'm going to swap this shotgun out really quickly for a weapon that I can kill these guys with a little bit more quietly. So let me put the shotgun and the shells back in here. Now, my initial plan for this episode, before we got waylaid defending the house, was to handle our business up in the... Well, I was thinking about either clearing out this area, or furthermore, let me fill my soda bottle too because we're out of water. And then we'll grab a baseball bat, we'll equip it in primary. And once we have that, we'll clean all these guys off the windows, and then we should be okay. They're barricaded for the time being, so that should be absolutely fine. It takes them a little bit to get through barricaded surfaces. So let me see what I can do here. Alright, so we handled that guy. Have to do a little bit of maintenance work here. It looks like they can attack the fences, which is a bit of a disappointment. And it is going to be a problem for us in the long run, I guess. I don't really know what amount of carpentry skill I have to make our fences really resilient. But unfortunately, for the time being, we're just going to have to live with that situation. So we've got a couple of speedy little buggers here. We want to make sure that everybody is cleaned off and away from the house. So we could have a little bit of combat going here for a while. Now, I don't want to fire off guns or anything of that nature, because that's going to draw heat down on me. But if we can get rid of these guys with melee, it should allow us to at least be semi-safe for now. It looks like the baseball bat is limited to hitting 2 zombies at a time. Unfortunate, but I can live with it. And then we have a huge amount of bodies we're going to have to search after this. It's alright though, hopefully we'll find something useful. There we go, down goes another zombie. And that was one of those problems that sometimes arises where a gunshot actually went off within my central area. And when that happens, you have no real choice but to stand your ground. Having stood our ground and actually been successful, I think we'll be alright in the greater scheme of things, but for now, that was a really terrifying experience, so hopefully that never happens again, because we simply don't have the munitions to hold anything off like that. That's precisely the reason why we want to set up multiple safe houses. That right there is exactly the reason why we have one in the northeast and we have one here. Because let's assume that had swung the other way and the zombies had won. Well, there's a couple of things that would have happened. We would have either been out on our asses. That's option number one, is that we were out, we have nowhere to live now, we're completely just kind of transient, which is always very dangerous. When you're running around the neighborhood just trying not to get eaten, that's a bad spot to be in this game. You don't want it to come down to that. You really don't. But we were successful, so the other options that may have occurred with the zombie invasion is that we ended up standing our ground and we ended up getting bitten on accident, which is also a distinct possibility. That little burst out of the door that I had to make right when the episode started, That could have ended much more differently. In fact, I was ready for the fact that I might have gotten bitten right there, but it didn't happen. We managed to get away without suffering any bites. We've also drawn away all the zombies from the house. I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be okay. So there's a plastic bag there. These zombies just have terrible loot. They're making me depressed with their just horrible lack of any type of useful loot. I'll take the pen. Alright, well, the plan for the episode was to go out and hunt some zombies, but it appears as though the zombies took the initiative and came out to hunt us. So, being tempted as I am right now, I think we're going to have a shotgun showdown. So let me run in the house really quickly. We'll grab some weapons, and we'll figure out how we want to get this all to work out. It looks as though my character is very, very thirsty. And I thought I just filled that water bottle, but it must have been a while since my last drink, so maybe she drank the entire thing and then it just got me into more trouble. We'll refill that. We're also going to grab some food while we're here. So let me grab a chocolate bar out of here. Yeah, we'll grab one of the chocolate bars just in case we have to run away from the house. And then I think what I'm going to do for now is we're going to do a shotgun showdown. So let me equip that as a primary. We'll equip the bat as a secondary. There we are. And so let me dump off the rest of this loot that we've gotten from the zombies, because obviously we don't need to be walking around with our homework, got empty notebooks and things like that. There will be no doodling in the middle of combat. I mean, if our character was that talented, I would be impressed. Frankly, I would just be very, very impressed that she could draw while being chased by zombies, but that's more than I can muster, so I can only assume that it's better than she can as well. So we're going to grab half the shotgun shells. It's going to overweigh us. I already know that already. But unfortunately, there's no other way to split items, so for now, we're just going to adjust by dropping one shell at a time. There we are. So we've got 36 shells. The shotgun is already loaded from that previous combat, and what we want to do now is we want to start the combat off in a much different location. So let's go ahead and I'm going to swing around, and maybe we'll attack from the southeast, so in the worst case scenario, they end up across the street from us. I still want to have absolute access to my home, no matter what we do here. Irregardless of the way this plays out, I want to be able to get back into our house and sleep. I don't want to risk any sleeping on the streets type situations. There we go. Yeah, that's the mob that I wanted to see. Alright guys, let's line them up. So if we can get a couple with every shot, I think we'll be alright. The shotgun holds 6 shells, so we're on 4 shots right now. Turn around, make sure there's nothing behind me. And then we'll fire into that group right there, and then we're going to get going with the reload. So if we walk pretty quickly, we can actually disengage from them fairly simply without any major problems. Ducking through the trees right there is probably going to be a wise idea for the time being. Let me turn around really quickly. You want to make sure they stay grouped up so that you're getting the maximum kill power from every single shot. But I would prefer to whittle this horde down as well as we possibly humanly can for the time being. So there's a shot right there. We got a couple of the runners on us. Oh, that's a bigger mob than I figured it would be. So what we might think about is just drawing this away, maybe. I don't think there's going to be any tangible victory here. I just don't see it happening. As many rounds as we're flinging into the mob, it's just not going to help at a certain point. Our reloading skill is very lackluster, unfortunately. We haven't put any points into reloading. These runners that are behind us are going to keep us on the move so that we can't really situate or get ourselves comfortable. However, what we can do is swing wide like so, and if we could pull this entire combat over into this field, possibly, I think that would be a good result for us. So let's take a look here. I'm actually going to shout and see what we can draw over here. I want to make sure that the rest of the mob is still with me. Yeah, I was going to say, this mob is not sticking with me here. And since they're my primary target, God, there are so many. And that's what I wanted to be careful about, is the possibility of some of them swinging around behind me. Make sure there's nothing off to my left. And, oh, we're out of rounds. Great. So I'm going to continue drawing them down the street just as far as we can, because I know I can sneak by this group. We've got enough points in sneakery already that there's not going to be a whole lot of problems handling that business. We'll fire 1 or 2 more shots just to get them super, super deep down into this residential kind of suburban territory. But beyond that, how many shells do I have left? I'm sitting at 18. Okay, I can accept that. More than enough shells left. We also know the location. If you watched the last episode, we do know the location of a pretty sizable grouping of armaments. So, all things considered, we're firing with an invisible shotgun right now. Let's continue. Yeah, I think I'm going to use up as much of this ammo as possible while we go into this situation. Always do a quick little rotary move like that after you fire a couple rounds, just to make sure that everybody is where you want them to be. It sounds like our sound clip for our shotgun has decided to die on us as well. We don't have any ultra industrial, well, there they are, those industrial strength speedy zombies. Not the ones that I like to deal with. The ones that seem to have grease in their britches are not the ones that I like the best. I mean, granted, it's been like a month, so all these people are undead. I'm sure there's a sizable amount of greasy residue in all of their britches at this point, but that's beyond debate. God, there's just so many. And while I do feel like we've actually killed a lot of them, the horde is getting smaller, but I think at this point it might be time to test our luck and get out of line of sight. So let's see if, yeah, we'll close that door behind us. I'm pretty much assuming at this point that I've already looted everything anyways, and we did a pretty good job. I'm proud of what we just did right there. I feel like that got handled in the best possible, most responsible way, with loads of bloodshed and also machine gunnery. So, I strongly doubt there's going to be a lot of items here that I want to use. I don't quite remember how to swap between weapons, so I just need to lose these zombies as quickly as possible. Switching between primary and secondaries, I forget, was it tab? Maybe? No? Well, it doesn't want to swap for me, so it's fine. We got to get rid of this shotgun, though. This shotgun's going to get us into trouble in the long run. We used almost, well, not half. We used about, oh, say 30% of our shells in that standoff, but we succeeded on two fronts. We got them away from the house, and we whittled down the horde, so I'm happy with the result. I don't hate it. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we did use about half of our shells. We used a lot. So let's throw the shotgun back in there. We'll eat a chocolate bar really quickly, and then we'll kind of hang tight for a minute and give it a listen and make sure nobody followed us back in here. So let me unequip that, and then I'll throw it down into my primaries. Alrighty, and not a bad result. Not a bad result at all. So there's nothing to be ashamed of there. That went about as well as it possibly could have. So the good news is we shouldn't have to deal with any hordes anytime soon. I mean, unless the dungeon master just absolutely hates us, we shouldn't have any further problems. So it's 7:30, which leaves me with very little time to actually do anything else. So let's grab some journals here. Yeah, we'll grab a notebook and a pen, and we'll turn some of these into journals. So we'll write a journal, and I think that actually makes multiple pages. I think you get like 20, and it makes your boredom go away really, really quickly. So that's pretty much all the boredom reduction we could ever want out of those, in fact. So we'll throw those back in there. Apparently the pieces of paper are incredibly heavy, but we've got 21 journals now. Now I think if you take a notebook and a pencil, it makes doodles, I think is the difference. So we'll throw that in there. And then, oh no, it's going to let us write a journal again. All right, well, we'll convert as many of those into journals as we can. We're going to find a ton more empty notebooks anyway, so it's not even a big deal. And so now we should more or less never be bored again. It's like we got a PlayStation or something in here, or like a Super Nintendo. That would be, if I had to be trapped with one entertainment system from video gaming, like in the history of video gaming, it would either be, yeah, it would have to be like a Super Nintendo, or possibly like a Dreamcast maybe. But I think I would lean more heavily on the Super Nintendo idea if I had to be just trapped in a location for inordinate amounts of time with like an endless source of video games. I think I would choose the SNES. Let's go ahead and bypass a tad more time. Alright, we're sleepy enough. And so now what I'd like to do is get a tad more scavenging done, I think. Now, I haven't really ventured to see what's to the southeast of us in this location. I think that's some scouting that would be well worth taking a look at. My guess is that it's probably just more suburban sprawl. If I really had to just take a rough stab at what was going to be down there, suburban sprawl would be what I would more than likely put my finger on. But let's grab some cereal, I guess. There we go. We'll grab cereal and a chocolate. We'll eat the chocolate right now. And we need to refill our water bottle. Now, I never explained to you guys what my plan was with that fence, and it looks like they actually made a ding in it, which sucks. But zombies can trample your crops. Like, we really don't want them in that little area back there if we can help it. We got 2 skill points, and we're better at aiming. Reloading seems to take a little bit to actually gain any purchase, which is disappointing because we loaded a lot of shells right there. So I guess that it is what it is, but I would really prefer for that to have gone up a little quicker, because as you could tell during that last engagement, Our speed was not so good while we were handling business with the zombies. Coming outside right now, I want to be very careful because there is the possibility that they could have done a little migration back to our territory, but I think we're okay. I've got loads and loads of wood piled up over here. You'll remember that from the last episode. However, we're out of nails, and so we're going to have to make a run out to a warehouse pretty soon. I'm going to leave that alone for now because obviously in the last 4 episodes, we spent 2 episodes running around staring at warehouses, so I don't really want to jump back into that bed too quickly. Let's have a little look-see around. I've never gone this direction here, so I really do believe we need to get a little scouting done. So that's what we're going to give ourselves cause to do in this episode. There's a break in the trees over here. I'm going to kind of cut through there. I am going to make sure that I'm sneaking nonstop. I don't want to draw any undue attention while we're going about our business. It appears as though I've come out this way at some point. I've left the door open. Although that does leave me to wonder if this is like a boundary right here going out into the forest. If we are on the absolute most southeast edge of town, it might be a better idea to cut a little to the southeast. Now, I know there's a rich area down in and over here. There's kind of a... Ooh, there's a nice little group right there. Let's see if... Ooh, that's not a nice little group. That's a powwow. That is a group of a sizable nature. A quantity of indeterminable size. So I guess we'll sneak around the back of this house here. I can't see the front door to see if I've looted this bad boy yet. But let's give it a go. The door looks shut, so let's see if we can sneak through the back. If we get a burglar alarm, we get a burglar alarm. There's no zombies around for the time being. At least I don't think there are. So that should give us plenty of time to disengage and get the hell out of here if anything does go wrong. So a few little tugs here. Sounds like we got a gunshot right there, so let me be very, very careful about the way that we proceed. Now, that could have come from anywhere around us in a radius, so they might come swarming down to here, or they might be headed off in a different direction. Just listening for a moment there. Let's see if we can sneak a peek around the side of the building. Yeah, I don't think they're coming to this location. We also didn't set off a burglar alarm, so this place should be absolutely ripe for the picking. Carpentry for beginners? Okay, good. It's got 220 pages. Why would I need to know the page number? That's a little strange. What I will do is close these blinds so that I can loot in peace. There we go. Alright, let's check the kitchen really fast. Some beans, always a good survival staple. We got some more ramen as well. Got some instant popcorn and some peanut butter. Some bowls and some things like that. I'm not going to open this side window if I can help it. I'm going to try and avoid it anyways, because we don't need any extra orifices by which the zombies can penetrate us. We've got plenty of penetrable boundaries already, so... I'm not trying to create a new sphincter by which to be attacked. Ooh, a water bottle. Actually, that's really good. I'm happy about that result. So we got both. Let's see here. Yeah, see, it's not letting me shift click anymore, which is very, very disappointing. That entire thing that I just did right there, I was trying to shift click my way through, but after the last patch that they dropped on Desura, unfortunately, it's no longer an option. But it's fine. I mean, I'm pretty much doing things the way that I was doing them before you guys pointed it out, and while I missed the shortcut, it's no skin off my back, or off my teeth, or whatever area you want to take skin from. These upstairs areas are always a little bit suspect. Yeah, that's why, right there. Okay, so there's nobody else in the bathroom. Oh, and they're stuck on my clicker again. Get out of here. Get on out of here. There we go. Alrighty, so let's take a look through some of these drawers. Nothing. Not a zilch. So I guess I'll fill the water bottle. And that'll be that. Nothing on the zombies worth noting. Little bathroom right there. Pretty sweet LCD flat screen that I could jank if there was anything left to watch on TV. Unfortunately, TV in the apocalypse, well, TV in the apocalypse is only slightly worse than TV in the real world. They've just removed the temptation to watch horrible trash TV like Honey Boo Boo. That's really the only difference. It's not that the quality has gone down, it's that the quality has more or less stayed the same with less variety. Let me eat a thing of cereal right there. Eating an entire box of cereal, that's a pretty impressive feat. I can only really do that if I have, like, Fruity Pebbles or Lucky Charms, or actually, strangely enough, I can do that with Frosted Mini Wheats too. I'm a Frosted Mini Wheats addict, and I don't even know why. It's one of those things that as I got... Oh no, there's zombies over here. Let's see if we can ditch him. I'm gonna go in through the window for now. I don't think he's gonna follow us all the way around the building. Close that, and then we'll close the curtains too. If we hear him rap-tap-tapping, we'll live with the results, but I don't think he's gonna come anywhere near us. Now, if we kill anything in here, we may draw the attention of that horde, which is something to think about as well. We got coffee, cabbage seeds, nothing really that I want. Empty mugs, a kitchen knife, coffee, dog food, I'll take that. Worst case scenario, you end up eating dog food. It's a survival situation. You gots to do what you gots to do, so we'll eat dog food when it comes down to it. But for the time being, I'm gonna stick to the other things that are a little bit less disgusting. Anybody upstairs? Yep. It does sound like somebody is quite interested in joining us on the inside downstairs. However, it is going to take him a little bit to get inside, so we'll take the baseball bat, absolutely. That's exactly the kind of loot that I'd like to locate while we're down in here. I don't really know what use belts are going to have. They might be useful for like tourniquets or something later on. But for now, we can get some bright like rockstar pink pants. I think I'm going to take them. Let's go ahead and drop our drawers on the floor here. And then I'm going to wear these rockstar pants. There we go. We're getting our Iron Maiden on now. We got like our heavy metal. I mean, if they had like yellow thunder stripes on them, that's the only way these pants could get more metal. And I'm talking like mid-80s metal, like the glam period. So I guess not so much like Motley, I guess like Motley Crue, but not so much like Iron Maiden. But like more like the Motley Crue, White Snake. Oh no, that is a huge horde. Look at that thing. Wow, that is impressive. That is impressive. So I suppose what we'll try and do right now is just get out of Dodge. We've got a little bit of time left. We've got a little bit of extra weight left. I'll throw the cooking pot in there. We'll also throw the dog food in there. Actually, it looks like we're pretty much full up. So maybe this isn't the best idea. Maybe we should go back to the house and kind of take inventory and make sure everything's okay. I don't really think we have the means by which to loot much more. God, that is an outfit right there. That is an outfit that draws attention. We've got like Dayglow green shirts on. We got like bright hot pink heavy metal pants rocking. Or at least hot pink butt rock pants. Something. I don't know. If we had like some knee-high boots, this thing would be all over for us. We would just be rocking our way through the apocalypse. Being very careful as I move through here because I really don't want to bring anything home with us. We do not need any new pets. And if you feed them, they'll never leave you alone. It's like if you give a moose a muffin. If you give the dead a dish. There we go. That's going to be my version of if you give a moose a muffin. If you give the dead a dish. They'll just come back and they want more and more. They really are insatiable. I'm gonna try and follow this road right here if I can. Hopefully without making any friends. It's good to mix up the wardrobe every now and again. You don't want to be out in the middle of just the ridiculous wasteland in the same outfit every day. Like, what if somebody's watching with the binos? Somebody's doing a little bit of voyeurism. They're off on the horizon just kind of scoping you out. You gotta change it up. You gotta give them a little bit of viewing variety. Nobody wants to watch the same TV show every single day. Nobody wants to stalk the same stockee every single day. You gotta do something a little different. Otherwise, we're gonna lose our fans. Nobody's going to want to stare through our windows and peek in our cupboards, look in our medicine cabinets anymore. God, that would be terrifying if there was like serial killers in this game. That would be really interesting actually. I would love to see what they're going to do with survivors in the future. Like, some of them could be like serial killer types where they run around just kind of raiding and pillaging and just causing problems, shooting at people. Because a shootout in this game seems like it would more or less just end your journey. I don't see any way for a shootout to resolve itself properly. By the time you realize somebody was shooting at you, I feel like it would be too late, especially with how accurate like guns are. So, back here in the house, I am going to dump off as many of these little goodies that we picked up. That was a good run for us. I like that result. We're at 31 units of food right now. Very, very good, guys. Very good. So, let's see what our total amount is after this. It should be more like, oh, I don't know, maybe 33, 34? Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. This location's looking good on food. It's a little skimp on water, but water is replenishable for the most part. Now, I thought when the water went out, we were never going to be able to loot out of anything ever again. Like, we were going to have to go farther and farther and farther away from home just to get our water supply for the day, and I may be wrong. That may actually happen in the future. This is one of my longer playthroughs, so we'll see how things evolve in the greater scheme of things. But for now, I think we're about at the end of the day, so I don't really think there's much more we can apply ourselves to. I'm going to think about making a run out to that warehouse that we saw in the next episode. I think that's going to be our next mission, is we need to get some nails, otherwise we're never going to finish that fence outside. It doesn't seem to have held up well with the zombie assault, but, you know, we'll do what we can. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. I had a blast with this one. This episode was just jam-packed with all kinds of fun stuff and occurrences, so hopefully the next one is of the same caliber. I'll see you there, and take care out there, everybody.